Hello everyone. So in this session, I'm going to run a RAG-based model using RUNPOD. Now, what is RUNPOD? It is a GPU platform. Now, all LLM model comes with million to billions of parameters. So they are computationally intensive, meaning it is going to require huge resources in terms of GPU. So you'll have to look for a GPU platforms. So I know that Google Colab, we all know that Google Colab is already there, but it has a limitation. It is not always available in the free version. You'll have to buy the pro version. So what are the alternatives that you can look for? So RunPod is one among them. So other platforms that you have, which are close competitors of RunPod, is Lambda Labs. You have Vast AI, Paperspace. You have NVIDIA. You have Google Colab. Amazon Bedrock is always there, and you have Azure too. So here I'm going to run a RAG-based model with Meta LLama 3.1. This I have already done it with Google Colab in my previous session. If you want to understand a detail step by step, I have done it there. Here I'm going to be a little faster. Here my motive is to show you how much it will cost you when you run those quantized model here. Once you have understood this and the hardware configuration, also I'm going to explain you how to pick this. You can play around with RunPod. So yeah, without wasting much of time, let's jump into action. So if you go into the website, if I go to the home page here, so you can see GPU cloud, deploy a GPU pod. So this is where we're going to work on. Then we have serverless. I'm going to have a separate session on serverless. Storage, it's meant for a storage. So as of now, we can ignore it. Next, let's come to Explore. So in Explore, you will have several templates there shown here. You can pick it up. As I've told you that with LLM based model, you'll have to pick PyTorch. So it is giving all those templates already available. So I'm not going to pick it from here. Once I spin up the pod, I'll select it from there itself. So let's come to the manage environment. Here you will see pods. I don't have any pod running, so it's empty. Storage, as I said, you don't have to pay attention here. Templates, I don't have one, so it's going to be blank. Secrets, in Hugging Face, you need to create an access token in order to access those LLM models, right? You can put this access token here. Same for OpenAI, right? In order to use that, you have to have an access token, so you can put it here. Account information settings and all, you can have a look. Okay, I'll ignore that part. Let's straightway jump into the home page where we will see the GPU cloud. So if you go to the GPU cloud here, the first thing that you're going to see is a filter option. So I'm not going to pick a filter option to select the hardware requirements. So let me see all the templates they have already put readily available. Okay, so if you look into the first template, it has got how much? It is going to charge you 3.49 dollar per hour. Okay, and the resources they have is 192 GB of VRAM. VRAM is nothing but video random access memory. Okay, so you can think it of it as GPU. So 192 GPU, you can run medium, large, extra large models also. So yeah, I'm definitely, we'll have to think economically and then select this configuration. So let's not pick this. Even if you look into this model, which is going to charge you a little extra than half a dollar, which is 69 cents per hour. They're going to give you 24 GB VRAM. I don't require that. Okay. So in my previous session, when I've run the same model, it has taken only 5 to 6 GPU. Okay. So keeping that in mind, what is going to fit me is what I say, definitely this one, which is just 0.39 cents, 39 cents per hour, right? And it is giving me 48 GB of VRAM, which is more than what I require. Okay. So if you see, there is another model right up here, which says 28 cents per hour, right? And it is giving me 16. You don't have anything below this, so I'll have to select this and go about. So now, before you go about selecting it, I can quickly select and spin up the pod and Jupyter Notebook and run it. But let us understand what is pod. Okay, so we are in RunPod. We have seen serverless option. I'm going to take a separate session. Another components that where we are going to run is called as pod. So let's understand what is pod first. I am having a small presentation. If you already know, you can skip this 2 minutes part of a video and go ahead, but let me quickly take you through. Okay, yeah. So what is pod? Yeah, so pod, you can think it of as a virtual machine, or it could be a container. Okay, let's see what is pod here, whether it is a virtual machine or a container. So you can think virtual machine as you have rented the house entirely. Okay. Sorry, you have taken a house in a rent entirely. So you will have a parking space. You will have your own living room, bedroom, washroom, kitchen, all of your own. So you have all the resources that you want in a virtual machine. But when you talk about a container, you will be imagine you are staying in an apartment and you have just rented a room from that apartment. Okay, so not all the services are all you cannot enjoy all the services. So if you in the right hand side, if you see, you've just rented one room. What you don't have is probably a kitchen. You'll not have a bathroom, or limited services, right? So probably some of the services you have to share, you have to be sharing. Okay, now in virtual machine, you'll have your own dedicated operating system. You'll have any software application to install, libraries and dependencies, you can install it. Okay. Now, container, shared operating system. So whatever host is having as an operating system, you're going to have the same operating system here. Now, another thing, this is specific to the container. You can install any Python packages, ML formats like PyTorch or TensorFlow, and libraries and dependencies also will be specific to container. So this is a basic difference between the two. Now, pod, what do you think pod is? Pod is a container here. Now, container is going to be a light, as you must have understood, okay? Because you are using a shared environment, it's going to be a little light, right? You don't have the operating system to install, so it's going to be light, and as well it's going to be a little faster too. Now, once you have understood this basic part, let's jump into understanding what the model and its configuration. So a small based model, which is around 100 million to 1 billion parameters like GPT-2 and Distilbert, you're going to require a system that has got 8 to 16 GB of RAM. So more or less in every personal laptop that we have, it comes with this configuration. You can run it locally. Okay. But again, it is going to be taking a little more time in order to have this execution done. Now, when it comes to the medium models, which are around 1 billion to 6 billion parameters, you are going to require resources in GPU, okay, with at least 12 to 16 GB of VRAM. VRAM is a video random access memory. So think it of in like this. Whenever it comes to CPU, it is always associated with RAM. Whenever it comes to GPU, you will have VRAMs. Okay. So yeah, in this case, you'll require 12 to 16. But when it comes to a large model, right, which is 6 billion plus parameter, like GPT-3 and Llama models, here we're going to read at least 12 GB VRAM, that is GPU, 12 GB GPU, you're going to require it. So if you have this basic understanding in mind, now let's go about selecting our configurations, hardware configurations. Okay. Okay. So here we're going to take, as I said, I'm going to just require 6 GB of GPU. So this could be the best choice that I have. Okay. I've selected this, okay, which is going to charge me 0.28. So if you are thinking of what is vCPU is nothing but cores. Here they have given me 6 cores. So the more the core, the better it is. Okay, you will have this parallel taxing being done faster. Now I've selected this. So once you go about the selection, here you can check the template. If you remember, on the left hand side I showed you template, right? So I'm going to pick the template here. Initially, when you're starting off, here is you'll have to choose the template from here. I can change the template also. I have taken the first template, whatever they have shown, 2.1. I've done that. But if you have a specific torch and you see it's available, basic version of the torch, do pick that. Even if you don't pick that, you just need to install it. Okay. So I've picked that, and I'll straight come down. If you see Start Jupyter Notebook is already ticked. If not, you tick it and then deploy it. Okay, what I could not show you on the left hand side, the cost depends on 3 factors. One is the GPU. If you can see vaguely, it is see it. The other 2 factors are the volumes of storage, okay, but they are charging you very, very minimal. So as soon as you are done, please stop the session and terminate it. So they're not going to charge you anything. So I'm going to show you here. Now, since I've spin it up, I'll just click on this drop down. So it is initializing it. If I go to the logs here quickly, you see it starting. Okay, it has finished and the pod is ready to use, it says. Okay, you can go into system logs, but not much of information, so you will get it. Okay, I'll cross this out. Let's come here. So now if you see, everything has been zeroed out. Resources I have not used. So while I run the Jupyter Notebook, I'm also quickly going to come here and show it to you how resources are getting used as and when you are also running it simultaneously. Okay, so let's go to connect here, and let's go to connect to Jupyter Lab port this. Okay, so let me connect it here. So my motive, as I said, I'm going to run it faster. So I already have a notebook available in my downloads. I'm going to just upload that, and I'm going to do the execution. So in your case, when you're running it, what you're going to do is you're going to click this. Okay, so once you click this, you already have the thing available. You can go about starting coding here. Okay, so 2 things I'm going to upload is I'll upload already that I have done a RAG test. Okay, this is the one that I'm going to upload. Now, since I'm running a RAG based model, I'll need one document here. The document is a paracetamol document I have always used. This is the document based on which I'll be asking question, creating a context to the LLM model, and yeah, to the execution. So this is it. So what I'll do is I'm going to use this. Okay, let me see if I can use this. If not, yeah. So here it is, all the codes are there. You can go into my previous version if you want to understand in detail, but here I'll just quickly go about with the execution, and I'll try to explain some bit of it. Okay, so I'm just installing LangChain community here because I'll be using LangChain very often So if you see, I'm using LangChain for PDF uploading also. So you do not have to pay path, put the path here. You just, since you have placed it here, I can call it from here itself. So here is, I'm instantiating the, PDF path and file. Here I'm loading the file. Okay. I can also see the raw documents here. Okay. So it has got a 6-page. Let me go to the next. Yeah, so I'm going to split it now, the documents. Once the splitting is done, here it will be here the splitting is done. Here I've defined the chunk size and overlap. Here the splitting is done. Once this is done, I'm going to install the sentence transformer. The sentence transformer is going to help me in creating the embeddings. Okay, so yeah, once this is done, what I'll do is I'm also going to call LangChain embeddings too. Okay, and I'm using this model to do the embeddings. So as you see, the packages are getting deployed, but let me go to run my pods and show it to you how things are looking now. So CPU utilization is just 20% so far. Container only 1%. So far, GPU utilization, GPU memory utilization hasn't been done because I've not run the LLM model yet. So far, only embedding is done. So this is my digs and other things. I'm showing it to you. So also what I didn't show you, initially I had the amount that I had in my account was $8.59. Sorry, $8.57. This is where we started off. Okay. Slowly, let's see how much it is going to charge me. Okay. So far, I've spent 3 minutes of time spinning up the RunPod. Yeah, let's see. Now what I'm going to install is ChromaDB, because this is what I'm going to require. I've used FireDB in my previous version, previous session. Here I've used ChromaDB. So let me quickly run Chroma. I do not read all other packages. I'll have them deleted. I only need this library. Okay. So I'm going to pip install Chroma as well. Yeah. So once this is done, I will have the embedding being pushed to ChromaDB. The very next step of it, it is still running. Okay, the very next step of it is going to be little time consuming, but let's have this execution done first. Okay, this has been executed, and you can see the vector stores are being created. Okay, all the embeddings has gone into the ChromaDB. Now, this is where I'm installing Torch 2.31 version. If you remember the template of PyTorch, which was already there, that was 2.1. So my requirement is 2.3.1. Why did I go for this specific? Because it depends on this, this particular auto AWQ depends on this audio and vision, Torch vision, and it was completely failing. So that's the reason I have picked this. So let me run this. Now this is going to take some time. I might pause the video. And so here it says, you may need to restart the kernel to use the updated package. Okay. So please don't ignore this message. You definitely restart the kernel. The reason why I say in the very next step, it is going to throw here itself. It's going to throw error related to AW config. Okay. So please restart the kernel. How do you do it? Go to the kernel here. You restart the kernel. So once you restart it, so you will have to go right on the top, and you'll have to keep clicking. The reason I'll keep clicking is this notebook is end to end. So let me go back to that place where I've stopped the execution. In that way, um, yeah, I can explain you. So yeah, this is the place I was here earlier. Okay, so now this is done. Okay, so once this package, once this is done, once you have restarted it, I can import Torch, and from transformer, these are the three things that I'm going to require: auto tokenizer and casual. Okay, I'm going to import it. The next is I'm creating that quantized model. If you remember, it is a 4-bit quantized model. I have explained it what is 4 bits quantized model in my previous session. So if not, if you have not understood it, you can fall back to that session there. And then I'm tokenizing it, and I'm creating the model. Okay, so let me run this part also. So now let me, while all these packages are getting down, all the libraries are getting downloaded, you can see the container utilization has gone to 45% now, memory 3%, GPU memory is just about 3%, right? So this is where we are. Yeah. And as far as the cost goes, if you see earlier when I showed you, it was around 0.59. And from there, it has reduced to, I think, 5 cents. So as of now, 0.05 cents they have deducted. Okay. And just about maybe 10 minutes I've been running this. Okay. So while these shards are getting downloaded, there are going to be two shards, right? You might see some push in the GPU memory. Okay, so the download is finished. Let's go down. Now, this is the place where I'm going to create a retriever from ChromaDB. And then I'm asking a question, what age group can have paracetamol? This is the question I have. I'm going to have a context also. I'm preparing that context doc. Okay. So if you remember the questions that I've asked, and with the question I've retrieved. So if you see everything related to age group with paracetamol will be there. Paracetamol indicated in adults and adolescent age, so on and so forth. Okay. Yeah. So I'm getting ready with the context also. So the template here is what I'm having the prompt template here, library downloaded here, and then I'm creating a template. In the template, I'm passing context and the question. Question is already there. I'll be creating a context, and then I'm going to pass it. Okay. So now the next part, this is where I've made the template ready. I'm now creating the pipeline. Okay, so in the pipeline, I've put the model, I've put the tokenizer. This is for text generation. Temperature, I put 02, which is a little bit of greedy approach. It is conservative approach rather, not being very creative. Yeah. Next, I'm not asking it to give a penalty, and full text is equal to true. New tokens, I've asked only 150. Okay, so I've run the pipeline, and now let me go to yeah, I'm now importing this library string output parser, and then I'm creating this pipes. Okay, this is also another sort of a pipeline. I'm putting the prompt. The prompt is nothing but the prompt I showed you right on the top, right? So I'm using this prompt and the LLM model. Okay, and I'm saying, while you give me the answer, when it gives the answer, it comes with a lot of extra these things, scores and all. So it's going to negate all of those and come out with only the string. Okay, so if I click on this, so it's going to come up with all the strings. Now let me run and invoke it. So if I run this part, here it's what, based on the context and the questions that I've given, it is giving me the answer. See, paracetamol is indicated in adult and adolescent age between 12 and older. Paracetamol is not recommended for children under the age of 12. So this is the answer that you get. Okay. So now, since you have done with this, so you can quickly go into my run pods, and then you can stop it. So in this way, you will avoid any extra cost. So I had around 59. So I had the session running for a little long time. That's why it has cost me a little extra. But don't expect it to go anything more than 10 cents. Okay. Yeah. So that is this. You also need to do one thing. You need to terminate it. Okay. If you don't terminate, it is going to charge you for the storage. So once you terminate this, it is a persistent. So now when I say persistent, that means your storage will say, but when you terminate it, everything is gone. Yeah.